I want to make this video about making Aliyah because that is what I have done. So I finished my conversion, Baruch Hashem, a very long conversion, at the end of 2017. It was in November. Obviously, once you finish your conversion and you're a full halachic Orthodox Jew, you do have the right to return to Israel, which is your land, because it's the land of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, and all converts are sons and daughters of Avraham. The first question that I would ask if I was watching this channel, so why did you wait until July 2019? One of the main reasons is that I was doing very well in South Africa. I was in Cape Town, I was involved in Beit Midrash Morasha, which was my community, which I converted in. I felt a sense of responsibility to my community who supported me, an amazing community. I made a video about how was I treated during my conversion. That's a tribute to my community, and they were absolutely amazing. And I thought, now I'm finally converted. Now I actually count in a minyan. And I wanted to give back to my community as a fully halachic Orthodox Jew. And Baruch Hashem, I did make the minyan several times. So that was one of my things in my head. Was like I at least wanted to give a year back to the community. A community that supported me for years in my conversion. I think it's only right. So that was the one thought. The other thing was also financially. Financially, I was doing very well in Cape Town. Baruch Hashem, I was a partner in a private practice, Children Partners. I was doing good work. I was very happy with my work. I was happy with my community. And I wasn't sure if I would move to Israel, if I would be able to duplicate that life. But, when we daven every day in the Amidah, 3 times a day, we daven that the Jews should return from the 4 corners of the earth to the Holy Land, Eretz Israel. And I always thought it strange that I'm davening for this and I have the opportunity to do this and I'm not doing it. I think that is a slap in Hashem's face. He's giving you the opportunity, but yet you are not doing it. So that was one of my main motivations in making Aliyah, is I am very religious and I do want to live in Eretz Israel, a land that's been promised to my forefathers, Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Baruch Hashem, I'm here and it is amazing. So a little bit about Aliyah for converts is that when you convert, so I converted in November 2017, you can make Aliyah internally, which means you could take a flight, which you will pay for, fly to Eretz Israel. You must get police clearance in your country first, and bring that document with you. And then you can make Aliyah within Israel immediately. That process sounds easy, but in Israel, there's a lot of bureaucracy, so it's not so easy making Aliyah internally on your own with Israelis. Israelis are not the easiest people in the world to deal with. So that's why many converts, what they do is they finish conversion, they wait 9 months, and after 9 months, you can make Aliyah through the Jewish agency or Nefesh B'Nefesh, or whoever is the agency that runs conversion within your country. That way, you are dealing with your own people and not with Israelis. And that makes the process much more pleasant than dealing with Israeli. It's not so easy. So that is what I did. So to make Aliyah, you need a lot of documents. A lot. So one of the first things that you should do after you finish your conversion is you should get in touch with a global agency in Israel. Now it's a toll-free number, you don't pay for it, you phone them, you register. That is pretty easy. You also need an unabridged birth certificate. Now in South Africa, The bureaucracy is almost the same as in Israel, if not a little bit worse. So you can wait, I waited personally 6 months for this unabridged birth certificate. So you got to get that sorted, police clearance, photos, a lot of other documents that you need. You need your conversion certificate. You need a letter from your community that you were actually involved in the community. You need a letter from your rabbi that you're learning and stuff. So you need quite a few things. And your agency will guide you. So my agency was the Jewish agency in Cape Town. Sharon Greenblatt was my shaliach, and she was absolutely fantastic. Whatever I needed, she told me, this is what you should get, this is where you should go, you should now do this, you should now do that. And Baruch Hashem, I got all the forms. Then what happens is you submit all your forms to your shaliach, the Jewish agency, or Nefesh B'Nefesh, whoever is your agency. Nefesh B'Nefesh is a very famous American agency that gives out a lot of information, which I've heard great things about. So you give it to the shaliach, and she does everything else for you. She asks you when you want to fly. She books your flight. And the flight is totally free. Israel pays for it. And then you arrive. You come to Israel. Baruch Hashem, you landed. When you land, one of the first things that you get is like a temporary ID, Tudat Oleh, it's called in Hebrew, which means basically a document for an immigrant. And you get a SIM card with a lot of minutes to call and internet, and basically so that you can survive the first month. And what you also get is your Sol Klita. Now, Sol Klita is an absorption basket. So the state of Israel will pay you 2,600 shekels every month for 6 months for making Aliyah. And you get half of that at the airport. And this Sol Klita, I can tell you, is a great benefit because things are expensive and they're just handing you money, so who's not going to take that? And I want to thank the state of Israel for all these benefits because I thought I'll be okay, So what I did is I sold my flat in South Africa. I dissolved my partnership in the practice, and then I took all that money and invested it. So I don't actually have that easy access to that money. I also docked my car. So I came here basically with 3 suitcases. So on your Aliyah flight, you also get 3 suitcases of 23 kilograms. Now, one of my suitcases was basically books, because I do need books to survive. And the rest was basically clothing and very basic stuff. And I will include in this video some of the places that I stayed and some of my experiences in Israel. When I got here, I went through the whole process, and they registered me, and they struggled a lot with my English name, which is not very difficult. It's Theodorus Louis Kriel. It's not that complicated, but they struggled. So at that moment, I decided I will go by my Hebrew name, my conversion name, which is Shayel Moshe ben Avraham. So I told the immigration officer, I want my details to change to Shayel Moshe ben Avraham. He said, you cannot go by Ben Avraham in Israel. You have to take your last name, which is Kriel, Kriel, which funnily enough means God called. Which was quite, which I like. I couldn't actually change it on the spot. They said, no, you gotta go to Mizrat Panim, which is Ministry of Absorption, and Mizrat Panim you will do an official name change. So that's what I did. Now, Baruch Hashem, I am officially Shayel Moshe Kriel, and people still call me Theo at work and most places, but that is my official Israeli name. It's the name on my passport. And it is nice to see my Hebrew name on all documentations when I get a SMS, Shayel. It's really good. So that was one of the first things that happens is you get your Sol Klita, and then you go from the airport. So the airport will drop, you get a free taxi ride. So the taxi will take you to whatever destination you specified. Now I literally found an apartment 2 weeks before I came to Israel. Because my original plan was beautiful. It was I was going to go to Ulpan Etzion in Yerushalayim for 6 months, which the State of Israel will pay for in full. So I will stay there, eat there for free, and also learn Hebrew. Half a day Hebrew was my plan, which is paid for by the State of Israel. And the other half of the day I will study at Aish in Yeshiva, where I have been before, and I knew I wouldn't have much problems with the rabbis, money-wise, because yeshivas always make a plan. Many people in yeshiva study for free. And then once you start working, you give your maaser, which is 10% of your salary, to the yeshiva. So that was my original plan, and it was beautiful. But then I spoke with my shaliach, and I don't speak any Hebrew. So, I mean, I can read Hebrew. I can daven. I daven obviously in Hebrew. I've led services in Hebrew. That's not a problem. I'm talking modern day-to-day Hebrew. I do not know. Ani lo yodea. So, my shaliach told me, look, you should start looking for work immediately because it won't be easy for you because you don't speak any Hebrew. So, I've made contacts over the years, and so I started sending my CV out to like 10 places. And the one place got back to me and told me they're looking for someone immediately. So I contacted my shaliach and I said, look, there's a place in Kfar Sava that is looking for someone immediately, but I'm now going to Ulpan Etzion Yerushalayim, learning Hebrew and being in yeshiva. What do you suggest I should do? So she told me, if you have a job offer with your limited Hebrew, you should take that offer. So I skipped all my plans, which was beautiful, and I signed an interim agreement with a private practice in Kfar Sava, and I then started looking for a place to stay in Ra'anana. Ra'anana is like a South African city in Eretz Israel. South Africans call this place Ra'anana Fontein, which is a play on a big city in South Africa in the Free State called Bloemfontein. So I found a place, Baruch Hashem, with a lot of help from Hashem. I found a place, nice place, 3,600 shekels a month, which is not bad, fully furnished. And that was in Swart Street. And Kilat Ariel was like 20 meters from my house. So I davened there for Shachris, Mincha, Mariv. And there's a lot of families in Israel that took me in. And I had them for Shabbos, I had them for Chagim. And they really have been amazing. And I will make a video, Bli Neder, about how I was treated as a convert coming from South Africa in Eretz Israel, which will soon follow. So I first stayed at this apartment, and I will include a video of the apartment I took. So it's a very small apartment. It doesn't have a lot of things, but it had everything I needed. It had a fridge. It had a bathroom with a shower, not the actual bath. And it had a bed, obviously, which you need. So it had everything that I needed. I also bought an electric bicycle, which is very popular in Israel. And I was actually driving this electric bike. I bought it second-hand for 1,500 shekels. And I was driving this electric bike from Ra'anana to Kfar Sava and back every day, where my work is and where my home was, in Swart Street. But then I only had this apartment for 6 weeks. And after 6 weeks, I could literally not find another apartment like it that's furnished and that is below 4,000 shekels. Because I wasn't earning a lot, it's tricky making Aliyah. So I searched far and wide and I couldn't find one. So the Wolf family took me in, Baruch Hashem. And this is a family that I know from Cape Town. Their son is a shaliach in Cape Town at Beit Midrash Morashah, my former shul, for the Bnei Akiva movement. And they said, look, why don't you stay in our basement? Now, their basement is not an average basement. It's like a proper flat. It's massive. So they took me in through the kindness of their heart. Me being Jewish, they being Jewish, helping a Jew out, mitzvah. So I stayed there for a week. And then Baruch Hashem, through a lot of struggle, I found my current apartment, which is 128 square meters, for 4,200 shekels a month. That's excluding bills. Bills is like my arnona, which is like municipal tax. It's every 2 months, 700 shekel. My electricity is also billed every 2 months. That's another 700 shekel. And then there's water and gas. That's also every 2 months, like 200 shekel. So it was a little bit expensive, but I couldn't find anything else. And the reason I took this flat is in Eliezer Yaffe Street, also in Renana, more towards the center, is because my shul that I'm going to, Kilat B'nai Aaron, I'm also involved in the shul with their Facebook page, like I used to do with Beit Midrash Morashah. It's mainly a South African shul, great community, and they've also really taken me in. I've been very involved there. So that is why I chose this location, because it's a much shorter walk for Shabbos and Chagim. And that's how Jews tend to think, is you normally try to stay as close to your shul as possible, because of Shabbos and Chagim. So I took this place. Now this place I will again include a video below, but it was very basic. And almost everything that you see in the flat was from people that gave it to me for free. So the table that you see in the living room, the 2 couches, the small beds, basically everything in the flat was hand-me-downs from people. So that's one of the great things in Israel. If you tell people I'm Oleh Chadash, I'm a new immigrant, they will literally try their best to help you out if they are in a position to do so. So some of the things I got from the previous tenant that was staying in the flat, and some of the stuff I've got from my other flat that I used to stay in. So that guy gave me the beds, and the Wolf family gave me a mattress and a kettle to borrow. And like basic stuff to survive. They were very shocked that I'm moving into this basically empty apartment. The first night there was only a mattress and then this kettle with some milk and coffee and sugar, Baruch Hashem. So it really helped me out. And I stayed like this for another 2 months. Also a week after I took this apartment, another South African also made Aliyah, and he has moved in with me, so he pays half the rent and half the bills, which really helped me out a lot. And then about 2 weeks ago, you'll see all the videos that I made had no background. There was nothing, because there was nothing in my flat. But Baruch Hashem, 2 weeks ago, all my stuff arrived from South Africa, so I sent a container. You pay for the container. So the container was 20,000 shekel, which is a lot of money. But you pay no tax on the things that comes in to Israel. This is one of your benefits as Oleh Chadash. So all my stuff arrived, Baruch Hashem, and it's so nice to have my own stuff back. My couch that I'm sitting on, my bookshelf with all my books in the background. My father passed away in 2010, and he had this old dining table and dining set that I used to sit at as a child, eating at this table, and that also arrived, and it's really something special to sit on this table and to remember that I was a child at this table, and now I'm living in Israel, paying my own way and having a Shabbos at this table. So there's something special about having your own stuff, and it's something that I would highly recommend if you're in the financial position to do it and your stuff is worth enough to send it to Israel. So I'll include a video of as the stuff arrived, and also what it looks like now. It's not completely finished. Still some unpacking to do, but it's looking, Baruch Hashem, much better. So that is basically me making Aliyah. Also, another great thing that happened with me in making Aliyah is when I took that first job, that interim agreement that I signed at the private practice in Kfar Saba, I was literally earning half of what I was earning in South Africa. So it was a big knock. And that's without my bonuses being a partner. That was very challenging for me, going from being financially quite set to like barely making it every month. Some very tight months. But after 3 months, I got another job offer. And this is also a place I've been in contact with before I made Aliyah, but they never offered me something. So I took the offer that I had in hand. But this place, eventually I spoke with them again because I wasn't completely happy where I was working. And they offered me a new contract where I'm now earning more than what I earned in South Africa, obviously without the bonuses of being a partner. But Baruch Hashem, really doing well. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm like an inspector for my profession, medical prosthetics and orthotics, and I work all over Israel. So I've traveled to Beersheba, to Netanya, to Haifa, and I travel all over Israel. And it's every time, I see a place that I remember its name from either the Torah or the Tanakh, it does give me great nachas, especially Beersheba, because I've read that name so many times. And now it's an actual place that I go visit, Soroka Hospital in Beersheba. It's really fantastic just to be. I also had the opportunity to daven at the caves of the patriarchs and the matriarchs. Was an amazing experience to be at the site. Now, I personally am not big at praying at graves, maybe because of my Christian background. I've got a big fear of people forgetting that it's all Hashem. Hashem is one. Shema Israel. And I've unfortunately heard of many Jews that's gone off the path and starts to believe that the Chabad Rebbe is God, or Mashiach, or I know what else. So I do have a big thing about this, but it is still a schus to daven at a spot where the patriarchs and matriarchs have been buried, and it was a great experience, spiritual experience. And yeah, it's great to be in Israel. So that is a very long update about my life. It became a little bit of a Aliyah video as well, so I'll probably name this 1,000 subscribers make Aliyah or something like that. I hope that all of you that is in the process of converting, that B'Salat Hashem, you should finish soon and you should return home to Eretz Israel. We are waiting for you with open arms. And for all the born Jews that's watching this channel, which seems to be the majority, you should also grow in your Judaism and grow closer to Hashem. And B'sarat Hashem, you should return to the land that was promised to your forefathers, Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. We are waiting for you. Do not delay. Come home. Make plans. It's not easy making Aliyah. And I'm not a big Zionist, waving the flag and everything. But if you are a religious Jew or someone that's growing your Judaism, there's no better place in the world to live than in Israel. And that I can say from living in Israel for the last 6 months. And it's been absolutely fantastic. It is a struggle. For many people, it's a big struggle financially. I experienced some of that in the first 3 months. But Hashem always provides. If you trust in Hashem, He will always provide. I would like to, I do like to keep these videos quite positive, but I do like to keep it balanced as well. So in Israel, you must come to Israel with a very realistic expectation. Only 20 or 25% by some stats is religious Jews. So these are people that keep Shabbos, keep kosher. The country is by no means a religious place. There is, a quarter of the country is basically religious, but a lot of the Israelis are not religious at all. A lot of Israelis are against religion and against the religious people. There is some conflict in Israel between the Dati, the religious people, and the Chiluni, the secular people. And this is something that you have to keep in mind when you come here. You have to be strong in your Judaism and in religion. Because a lot of these Chilunim would tell you, why don't you become a Jew like me? I'm Jewish and I keep nothing. They obviously don't realize that if they do not keep Shabbos or Pesach or any of the sins of Karet, they are cut from God and from Judaism. And they should be, according to many opinions, the Chofetz Chaim and the Shulchan Aruch, they should be treated as non-Jews for all halachic purposes. And that is why they can't sign on a ketubah as kosher witnesses, because they are not kosher. So keep that in mind when you make Aliyah. It's not a wonderland. I think many people come here with false expectations that it will be like in Chutz La'aretz, where all the Jews join together and it's one big happy family. There's also an image that's often given in Zionistic shuls. My previous shul is very Zionistic, and for them, all Jews are great and all Israelis are great because they serve in the army. And I can tell you that is just not accurate. All of them are not great. All of them are not honest. You got to keep in mind that it is a country that is mainly secular, but there is a lot of religious people. Baruch Hashem. I can tell you where I stay in Renana, the main street, Achuza, everything is kosher. The whole place shuts down on 2 o'clock on Friday. So Friday is almost like a Sunday in Chutz La'aretz. So we don't work on Fridays. So you can get ready for Shabbos, which is also fantastic. And at 2 o'clock, you can buy nothing in Renana. All the shops are closed. There is still people driving on Shabbat in Renana, but not a lot. And you can feel Shabbos. On Shabbat, it's quiet. Nothing's open. Only shuls. You see people walking in the street, religious people. And it is fantastic. I did try to balance this video a little bit with the Israelis that you should be careful of in all your dealings. Like if they offer you a contract or something, keep in mind that not everyone here is religious. That's the balance, but it's absolutely fantastic living here. Almost everything is kosher. So in Renana, the whole Achuzah is kosher. So the whole main road, all the restaurants, everything is kosher. I can eat there. Cape Town, there was 4 places I could eat. So keep that in mind. Keep the positive things about Israel in mind. Do not forget about the negative things. Always be realistic whenever you make a decision. But the good far outweigh the bad in Israel. And it's a fantastic place to live. And whenever you need something, that's when Israelis, when they shine, is when you need something. They would literally give you the shirt off their back if you don't have a shirt. I'm not just talking the religious people, I'm talking the seculars. Chiluni. They do, everyone here has one. Israel is one klal. When one Jew suffers, we all suffer. That's something that a non-religious Jew quoted me. When I said, why are you helping this one? You're helping that one out. He was a very generous guy. And he said, we all one. If one Jew suffers, we all suffer. And that's such a true statement. I hope to see you all here soon. May you continue to be blessed in everything that you do. May you have a fantastic, powerful week where you grow in your Judaism and grow ever closer to the Creator of us all. I wish you all a Shavua Tov.
Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem